The old house was filled with cobwebs and dust. Anna could feel the weight of many years pressing down on her as she walked through the front door. She had inherited the home from her grandmother, who had passed away a few months prior, and now Anna was determined to sort through all of the belongings her grandmother had left behind. In the days that followed, Anna uncovered countless boxes filled with old photographs, letters, and other mementos from a life well lived. But there was one item in particular that caught her attention more than all the rest. While cleaning out her grandmother's bedroom, she found an old sketchbook tucked under a loose floorboard. As Anna opened the book, she was immediately struck by the delicate brush strokes and the way the colors seemed to dance across the page. But it was the subject matter that truly captivated her. Each drawing depicted a different location around town, from the local bakery to the old train station. And as Anna turned through the pages, she realized that she didn't recognize any of these places. She soon discovered that the drawings weren't just of any ordinary locations, but rather of places that had been lost to time, swallowed up by progress and development. The quaint little bookstore she had drawn was now a boarded up and forgotten storefront. The bustling train station was nothing more than a pile of rubble, and the cozy cottage where she had spent so many happy childhood summers had been torn down to make way for a new highway. With each passing day, Anna became more and more fascinated by her grandmother's sketchbook. She couldn't help but wonder why she had drawn these particular places, and what had inspired her art. And as she continued to pore over the book, she began to notice some other interesting details. For example, some of the drawings were dated, which gave her a better sense of when her grandmother had lived in the town. But there were also some entries that were completely undated, which only served to deepen the mystery surrounding them. In addition to the dates, Anna also began to notice recurring motifs in her grandmother's artwork. Flowers seemed to be a particular favorite of hers, as she had drawn them in a wide variety of styles and settings. There were bouquets of brightly colored blossoms, single stems growing through cracks in the pavement, and even floral patterns that seemed to have sprung from the pages of the sketchbook itself. Anna found herself spending hours upon hours each day poring over the sketchbook, trying to decipher its secrets. She would trace her fingers over the delicate lines and try to imagine her grandmother sitting down to draw these long-lost places. She would stare at the flowers, wondering if they held some hidden meaning, or if they were simply her grandmother's way of adding beauty to her art. As the days turned into weeks, Anna began to feel like she was making some progress in understanding her grandmother's past. She had learned that her grandmother had moved to the town in the early 1900s and had lived there for most of her life. She had also discovered that her grandmother had been a talented artist who had studied in Paris before returning home to teach art at the local high school. But there was still something about the sketchbook that eluded her, something that she couldn't quite put her finger on. One day, as she was examining one of the undated drawings, she noticed something strange. The paper was slightly wrinkled, as though it had been folded in a certain way. At first, she thought it was just a crease from being stored improperly, but then she realized that it matched the shape of a letter. With trembling hands, she unfolded the drawing and discovered a tiny message, written in her grandmother's elegant script. It read, "The answers you seek are hidden in plain sight. Look beyond the images to find what is not there." Anna stared at the message, trying to figure out what it meant. What answers was her grandmother talking about? And what was she trying to hide? As she looked at the drawing, she realized that her grandmother had been even more clever than she had initially realized. The image wasn't just a picture of a place or a thing, it was a map. If she traced the paths of the roads, she would end up at a particular spot, and when she counted the number of steps between certain landmarks, she would end up with a set of coordinates. With a mixture of excitement and trepidation, Anna set off to find the location. Following her grandmother's map, she soon found herself standing in front of an old stone cottage. It was overgrown with ivy, and the paint was peeling from its window frames. But there was something about it that felt strangely familiar. As she stepped closer, she noticed a small hole in the ground near the front door. And when she reached inside, she felt something hard. She brushed away the dirt and pulled out a small metal box. Inside the box, she found a collection of old letters, photographs, and documents. Among the items, Anna discovered a letter addressed to her grandmother. The handwriting was elegant, and the wax seal bore the crest of a noble family. As she began to read, she realized that this was no ordinary letter. It was a love letter, a passionate declaration of affection from a suitor who had been rejected. The revelation sent a shiver down Anna's spine. Her grandmother had never spoken much about her romantic life, so this was a surprising and tantalizing glimpse into a past that was both passionate and painful. The love letters continued for dozens of pages, each one more fervent and desperate than the last. The writer poured his heart out to Anna's grandmother, professing his undying love and begging for her forgiveness. But as Anna delved deeper into the contents of the box, she uncovered another side of her grandmother's story. There were also photographs of a handsome young man, a dashing soldier with a charming smile and a twinkle in his eye. But as Anna turned the photo over, she saw a name inscribed on the back that made her heart sink. It was the same name as the shooter whose letters had captured her grandmother's heart. Suddenly, the pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. The unsigned drawings, the cryptic message, the hidden box, they had all been part of a secret that her grandmother had carried with her for decades. And now, Anna was determined to uncover the truth. She knew that the key to unraveling the mystery lay in the very places her grandmother had drawn, the ones that had been lost to time. So she set off to find them, following her grandmother's map and piecing together the clues. At first, her search seemed futile. Many of the locations were nothing more than rubble or vacant lots. But as she continued her quest, she began to uncover small signs that hinted at the past. A weathered piece of brickwork here, a fragment of old glass there. Each clue was like a whisper from a bygone era, urging her to keep going. And then, just when she was about to give up hope, she stumbled upon something remarkable. Tucked away in a forgotten corner of the town, she found a small clearing. And in the center of the clearing stood a single tree, its branches reaching towards the sky like gnarled fingers. And at the base of the tree was a small wooden chest. As Anna approached, she could feel her heart pounding in her chest. This must be the final answer, the culmination of her grandmother's secret. With trembling hands, she opened the chest and found a collection of old photographs and documents. Among them, she discovered a wedding album, its pages filled with pictures of her grandmother and a dashing young man. The album also contained a guest list, a roster of names and titles that confirmed what Anna had already suspected. Her grandmother had married the very soldier whose love letters had captivated her imagination. As she pored over the album, Anna felt a sense of connection to her grandmother that she had never felt before. She saw the joy and happiness in her eyes, the love that radiated from every pore. And she realized that her grandmother's story was not just a tale of lost love, but a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. From the cobweb-filled attic to the forgotten clearing, Anna had journeyed deep into her grandmother's past, uncovering secrets and finding love along the way. The sketchbook had been more than just a collection of drawings. It had been a map, a guide, a key to a world that was both enchanting and heartbreaking. As the sun set over the horizon, casting long shadows across the clearing. Anna knew that she had discovered something truly special. She had found the missing piece of her grandmother's story, the one that had been hidden in plain sight all along, and in doing so, she had found a deeper understanding of her own place in the family tree. Some discoveries don't just reveal something new, they reveal who you were meant to become. See what's waiting for you. Link in the description.